are less than 45 days away from WrestleMania 41. And not 1 month ago, people were calling for Triple H's head, extremely concerned about the booking for WrestleMania 41. But after the insane Elimination Chamber, it is proven that anything can happen at any given time. So we just got to let Papa H cook. But Triple H is a little bit older. He's really busy. I don't know if he has time to do all this. So we're going to finish the booking for him. So I asked ChatGPT to create the final WrestleMania 41 match card, and I told him to get really crazy. I told ChatGPT to keep a limit to 15 matches, and I told him to include as many titles as possible. And I informed them some of the matches that were pretty much set in stone already for WrestleMania 41. So here we go. Stay with me now. So here's your night one main event. It's a fatal four-way between Gunther, Jey Uso, Solo Sikoa, and Jacob Fatu in a Falls Count Anywhere match. Solo Sikoa has spent the better part of the year trying to break away from Roman Reigns, trying to be his own person, trying to be the tribal chief. Obviously, things didn't go as planned, so Solo Sikoa is hurt. He's upset, and he's demanding that he creates his own legacy by forcing his way into the world title match with Jey Uso. And ChatGPT forgot about Jacob Fatu, and I just realized it as I was filming it. So I added Jacob Fatu for the simple reason that there's already been tension between the two of them. So why not just throw him in? If Solo Sikoa could get in, why can't Jacob Fatu? He's hurt, and he's upset because he feels like Solo's trying to pull a fast one on him so he could be above Jacob Fatu, and Fatu is not having that whatsoever. So he includes himself in the match as well. Poor Gunther, another victim to the Bloodline Vortex. Jey Uso is going to spear Gunther off the stage. Jacob Fatu is going to jump off the stage, and that's going to be how he gets out of the match. We get a Jey Uso splash on Solo Sikoa through a flaming table, with the finish being Gunther powerbombing Jey Uso onto Solo Sikoa, pinning the both of them, solidifying Gunther as the world champion. We're getting a double pin in night one. Next, we have Liv and Raquel versus Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler in a tornado tag street fight. We have all types of weapons. We have chairs, ladders, kendo sticks, tables, everything. And it's a hard-fought match. Liv Morgan and Raquel come out on top as Liv Morgan powerbombs Zoe Starks through 2 tables. Whoa. I don't really hate this at all. It would be kind of a downgrade for Liv Morgan, though, because she's been carrying for the whole year. I didn't really like her at first, but she's been doing a fantastic job. She has been the MVP in so many of her matches. Having this type of match at WrestleMania for Liv Morgan to go against Zoe Stark and Shayna Baszler, who just aren't the big names that they could have at WrestleMania. But it'd be great for Raquel and the exposure for Raquel. But for Liv Morgan, personally, I don't love it. Next, we have an Intercontinental Championship ladder match with Braun Breaker, Finn Balor, Chad Gable, Andrade, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura. This match should absolutely cook. I think this would be a fantastic, high-flying, crazy-ass match. You can imagine that Braun Breaker is probably going to spear someone through a ladder. This is great for someone like AJ Styles, who can kind of be a little bit protected in a multi-man match, and he might have to take a couple big bumps, but overall, he's not going to be doing too much. But this is a good way to get him back into it, which I do like. You got Finn Balor in a different type of picture other than Judgment Day. Thank God we got to get him out of there because he is just the jobber of Judgment Day. You already know Andrade is going to do some type of crazy-ass moonsault flip off of something. But ultimately, Finn Balor is going to come really close, and Braun Breaker is going to spear him off of one of the ladders, and Braun Breaker is going to climb up and retain his title. Fan of that match. Next, we have Io Sky versus Rhea Ripley versus Bianca Belair versus Asuka in a fatal 4-way elimination match. With the first elimination being Asuka by Rhea Ripley, and then Bianca is going to eliminate Rhea Ripley, and then in the final moments, we're going to get a one-on-one match with Bianca Belair versus Io Sky, which is going to absolutely destroy everything. They are going to do an amazing job, whether it's just them or if it's a triple threat like how we're getting in real life. But ChatGPT has Io Sky retaining, which I absolutely love. I think Io Sky is top 2 best women's wrestlers in the entire world, and I think that would be a fantastic match, and that would be a huge match for everybody. That's a main event for night one. Obviously, we're getting a little crazy here, but that's a big match. It'd be fun to watch. Next we have, which is most likely going to actually happen at WrestleMania, is Naomi versus Jade Cargill. And this match, even in ChatGPT world, is very simple. Naomi is going to get destroyed by Jade Cargill. We are getting an absolute squash match. It's not even any type of crazy rules or stipulations. This is literally what ChatGPT has. Naomi comes in hot, but Jade Cargill simply overpowers her, catches her into a crossbody, slams her, hits her with a big boot, and that's it. Naomi is getting squashed at WrestleMania. I like it. Next, we're revisiting a fantastic rivalry. We have CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre in a Chicago street fight. According to ChatGPT, this is weapons galore. This is thumbtacks. This is kendo sticks. This is tables. Drew McIntyre is going to hit CM Punk with a claymore onto a barbed wire table. Punk somehow kicks out and gives Drew McIntyre a GTS onto an apron covered in glass. How funny and ironic is that? That's hilarious. ChatGPT is a comedian. That would actually be such a troll for AEW if CM Punk used glass in a match at WrestleMania. I know CM Punk is still wanting to be in that main event picture. CM Punk and Drew McIntyre would put on a great match. We've already seen the trilogy, though. But, I mean, another Chicago Street Fight at WrestleMania where it got really extreme. I'm not against it, but I really wouldn't want to see this again. But I mean, if they had to, they would make something fantastic out of it. And then the final match of night one is going to be Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton in a Hell in a Cell match. And in parentheses, ChatGPT has a neck for neck match. Hey, yo! Kevin Owens injured Randy Orton a couple months ago, hurting his neck, and Randy Orton returned at the Elimination Chamber, where Randy Orton tried to punt Kevin Owens, but they stopped him from doing so, and they're trying to bring back the punt. It's going to be a brutal, hardcore match the way Kevin Owens likes it. Kevin Owens is going to throw Randy Orton through one of the cell walls, and he's beaten down and battered Randy Orton, and because that cell wall is open, that's where Sami Zayn runs in. Sami Zayn stops Kevin Owens from hitting Randy Orton over the head with a metal pipe. Randy Orton gets up, he's beating up Kevin Owens, and they somehow manage to make it to the top of the cell. We get an RKO off the cell onto thumbtacks, and that's not even how it ends. So while he's full of thumbtacks and basically dead, we get Kevin Owens on the side of one of the cells, and Randy Orton finally brings back the punt and punts his head into the wall. Randy Orton wins 1, 2, 3, but at the very end, we get a stare down between Sami Zayn and Randy Orton for what's going to come next. Maybe that's a feud for after WrestleMania because of just how brutal it was. Sami didn't want it to be that bad. So maybe you could do something like that, and that could lead into a more heelish Orton because he's overtaken by rage, and we get this new bald Randy Orton in 2025. I'm for that. I guess Randy Orton won the neck match. To open night 2, we're getting a simple but pretty awesome, I kind of like this idea, LA Knight versus Carmelo Hayes for the United States Championship in a last man standing match. I actually kind of like that just from a normal standpoint. LA Knight is walking in as champion because he's going to beat Shinsuke Nakamura leading up to WrestleMania. And in that, we finally get some relevancy for the United States Championship. And we get a match that can totally cook at WrestleMania. And I love LA Knight so much. He's one of my favorite wrestlers at this very moment in time. But I do think it's Carmelo Hayes' time. And I agree with ChatGPT here, is that Carmelo Hayes is going to beat LA Knight to become the United States Championship. And this is going to be the rocket ship strapped to Carmelo Hayes' back. And we're going to get a good year of Carmelo Hayes as United States champion. I actually kind of like that. I don't want to see LA Knight lose, but if you're going to lose, make it worth it. That's totally worth it. Next, we have Shotzi versus Bayley versus Roxanne Perez versus Chelsea Green in a women's U.S. title gauntlet match. I actually like this from a standpoint that they use Bayley and Roxanne Perez because they've already been building this feud in real life. And I actually do like it, and I didn't tell them to do this, but it included them in this match, and I do like that it throws them into the title picture for the Women's United States Championship. As for Shotzi, I'm not too sure what she's doing. I don't know if she's in NXT right now or not. I'm going to be really honest with you. I haven't really paid attention. I know she got hurt. The way this gauntlet match is going to work is it's going to start off by Roxanne Perez versus Chelsea Green, where Roxanne Perez is going to eliminate Chelsea Green first in Chelsea Green fashion. She's going to get beat probably relatively quickly and then have some sort of crash out after. Very on brand for Chelsea Green. But then the next participant is Bayley, and we get a one-on-one match between Roxanne Perez and Bayley. A good 5 to 10 minute match to really show off their skills and show off their feud, where Bayley is going to beat Roxanne Perez. She's going to little sis Roxanne Perez, showing her who the vet is. But then in a huge shocker, Shotzi's going to come in and go one-on-one versus Bayley, and it is going to shock the world and beat Bayley with a roll-up pin, becoming the next Women's United States Champion. I like the shock value in this, just because it's something that you wouldn't think of. Next, we have Uncle Howdy versus Karrion Kross. And I actually do like this match, and I'm a big fan of Karrion Kross. I'm not sure how other people feel, but I like his like demonic Satan, like devil walking among us type character. I think it's really interesting, and I think WWE needs to do more with Karrion Kross and really hone in on that little story that he has where he tries to possess people to become bad. I do like that a lot. And I do like it against Uncle Howdy, where this is more of a match as a tribute to Bray Wyatt, which I'm also a fan of. I love Bray. So the lights go out. The Wyatts have an entrance with the Firefly Funhouse theme, which I do like. And the only thing that has it here, the way Uncle Howdy's going to win is by doing a Sister Abigail off of the rafters. So I guess Uncle Howdy's going to win by murder-suicide. Like, what? I do like it. I'm a big fan, but I would prefer that Karrion Kross wins this match if I had to pick one, because they haven't done shit with Uncle Howdy. It was awesome when they first debuted, but the Wyatt Six is, I don't really know what's going on. And if I had to pick one to push and to really build a whole story around, it'd be Karrion Kross. So that'd be my pick, but they have Uncle Howdy winning here and honoring Bray Wyatt. Sister Abigail off the Raptors, they'd be dead. So they'd have to do some sort of cinematic fiendish type of editing for this match, which is cool with me. Basically, you got a cinematic match. And then we have a match that I hope happens. We have DIY versus the Street Profits versus the Viking Raiders in a tag team title unification ladder match. Just like last year where we basically disbanded both of the titles and separated them on shows, now we're unifying them again, and this match would absolutely cook in real life. I actually hope WWE does something like this. I am a huge fan of the Street Profits, and I'm a huge fan of the Viking Raiders, or the War Raiders, whatever they're called. In a ladder match, these guys would do absolute nutty things. And according to ChatGPT, Montez Ford is going to do a frog splash off the top of the ladder on Ciampa. The Viking Raiders are going to powerbomb Gargano through 2 ladders. You know how much power you'd have to do that? That is crazy. DIY wins the new tag team titles and retains their owns, winning it all at WrestleMania. That match would be crazy, and if you want to get really crazy, fuck it. Make it a fatal 4-way tag match and throw in the machine guns. That would be awesome. Next, we have The Miz versus Pat McAfee, with the special guest referee being none other than The Undertaker. Why? I don't know. This is the celebrity match that they made up. Okay. Pat McAfee's going to win, and Undertaker's going to chokeslam The Miz. 5-minute match. Whatever. But next we have something that I actually do like the idea of. It's Logan Paul and Bad Bunny versus Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee. This match would be a lot of fun, and I think it'd be fun for Bad Bunny to team up with Logan Paul. Maybe not for PR, for real life, because maybe some people that don't understand what's going on with WWE wouldn't like the pairing. But it'd be fun to see like an evil version of Bad Bunny, where he's not the beloved singer. And it would be interesting. ChatGPT has Rey Mysterio winning, but there is no reason for Rey Mysterio to win whatsoever. I get Dragon Lee, the benefit he would get, but honestly, I'm not a fan of Dragon Lee. I don't get it with Dragon Lee. They're pushing him to be the next Rey Mysterio, and he's just not. So I think Logan Paul and Bad Bunny getting a win here would be huge for them, especially beating Rey Mysterio. Rey Mysterio doesn't need it, and I just don't think Dragon Lee's that important, to be honest with you. So that'd be a fun match. So here's your 2 celebrity matches. I like it. And next we have Roman Reigns versus Seth freaking Rollins. Now this is a Bloodline Rules / Extreme Rules match, and the winner gets the title of the One. And what they mean by that is that Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins were always like 1 and 2. Whether you want to consider skills in the ring, where Seth Rollins is 1, versus like who's the guy, who's the face of this business in Roman Reigns. And the winner of that match is basically going to be the one. They're going to be the guy. Seth Rollins is going to wear the Shield outfit one last time just to really bring back all the memories of what they used to have and who they used to be. And just it would be a psychological warfare game, kind of like how it was at Royal Rumble in 2023. Roman's going to Superman punch Seth Rollins onto a pile of chairs, and just when you think that Roman Reigns is going to win and be the one, Solo Sikoa interrupts and spikes Roman Reigns instead. And we get a curb stomp onto a pile of chairs, and Seth Rollins is going to win, becoming the one. I actually think this would be great in certain senses. One, I wouldn't want Solo Sikoa to interfere and just more Bloodline stuff, and even Roman Reigns can't escape the Bloodline vortex. I don't like that part of it. But having Seth Rollins win in a more heelish Seth Rollins, it would make Roman Reigns crash out. It would make Roman Reigns like lose his mind because he lost the title of the One. You could get a year of just Roman trying to terrorize Seth, or like kind of crashing out, being a ruthless version of Roman Reigns, where he's not a babyface, he's not a heel, but he does some bad things, but you just love Roman Reigns enough where you kind of cheer for it. So it would be a weird, interesting mix of a crash out Roman Reigns. If they were going to do something like that, it could still lead to WrestleMania 42. Or he'd pull a regular Roman Reigns and not show up again until SummerSlam, and then not show up again until WrestleMania 42, and it wouldn't matter at all, which is probably what would happen. But I like the idea. I like the idea of Seth Rollins winning, getting the upper hand on Roman, because Roman just can't get past Seth Rollins. It's still the pain in his ass after all these years. Fun match. And then we get the final match of the night, Cody Rhodes versus John Cena, with The Rock, the final boss, in John Cena's corner. But Cody Rhodes has a mystery man in his corner as well. This match is a no disqualification, just like last year. Basically anything goes. John Cena is going to dominate this match using all these heelish tactics, helping with The Rock. They're going to use chairs, tables, chains, brass knuckles, everything thrown at Cody Rhodes, and he's still going to fight and kick out. We get a rock bottom on Cody Rhodes, followed by an AA, and just when you think it's over, Cody Rhodes' special enforcer returns. And it's Stone Cold Steve Austin. We're getting vibes of Backlash 2000, where Stone Cold came out and saved The Rock from the McMahon-Helmsley faction. We're getting the same vibes 25 years later at WrestleMania 41. Stone Cold's going to come out. He's going to raise hell. He's going to stunner The Rock. He's going to stunner John Cena and anybody else who's been helping John Cena and The Rock. It's going to be pandemonium, and he's going to make up for what he was supposed to do last year at WrestleMania 40, but he came back and returned this year at WrestleMania 41. And just when you think it's all over, John Cena recovers and hits an attitude adjustment on Stone Cold Steve Austin, and we get one final last save from CM Punk. CM Punk is just absolutely disgusted with John Cena and everything that he's done, and he's disgusted because John Cena finally showed his true colors and the phony that he's always been. CM Punk has been praising about since 2011. He had to just be involved in this match and help save Cody Rhodes. We get a GTS on John Cena, and we get a GTS on The Rock. Cody Rhodes hits the Crossroads and pins John Cena 1, 2, 3. Cody Rhodes retains at WrestleMania with the help of Stone Cold Steve Austin and CM Punk. The two guys that are just opposition to the power, to the man. It actually makes a lot of sense. It's a little too crazy. I think Stone Cold would have just been perfect. Adding that little extra spice with CM Punk interfering as well after what CM Punk did where he called out The Rock and John Cena on last Monday Night Raw, I think would be awesome. I do personally want to see John Cena win at WrestleMania because I think there's a fun story to tell there for the rest of the entire year. But if Cody Rhodes is going to retain, this is definitely a way to go. So this WrestleMania would be like 56 hours long with the amount of gimmick matches that we have in this. And this is like Attitude Era written all over it. Let me know what matches you did like on this card. And let me know if ChatGPT cooked because I actually do like some of these. The Bloodline Vortex is still real. Thank you guys so much for watching. Talk to you in the next one. Goodbye.